Let's go!
From Nintendo and Illumination.
The Super Mario Brothers can take care of the kingdom.
Comes a super-powered adventure. On April 1st.
Pack our things.
The galaxy gets even bigger.
He knows that's my bike, right?
Yes, sir.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Rated PG. Only theaters April 1st. Get tickets now.
This episode is brought to you by Beneful. Mornings are when the grind starts. Stretches, immaculate. Cardio, crushed it. Territory, marked. Sorry, geraniums. The dog routine is on point, but it can get a little wolf. That's why I fuel up with high-protein Beneful freshly prepared meals. I'm eating clean with real meat and veggies, served fresh from the pantry. Kick boring in the bowl with Beneful freshly prepared meals. Visit Purina.com/Beneful to shop now.
It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right, we've done all the work for you. All you have to do is press play and listen. My name is Justin, and you could call me Band Curious because I am indeed curious about bands. And in doing that, I like to bring my friends together to talk about a band. And on the other end of this conversation, we will have a top 10 starter kit list to offer you so you can get into this band as well. And I don't know, man, like there's lots of different directions I can go with this. But you know what? Here we are is where we're going, because here we are indeed. This one was like just super fast. Like I feel like I didn't even notice it get put up on the board, John, but like we were talking after Counting Crows, right?
Counting Crows,
yeah, it was after Counting Crows. We did Counting Crows, and you kind of were like Neutral Milk Hotel, and then you said, Gavin, you ready to do that one? And here we are. So it kind of got blasted. Like I don't know when you put this on the board. I don't know like what made you want to shoot it up the ladder. Talk to me about Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you because I put it on the Discord because I was looking. It was January 21st.
Oh.
And then the next day, Gavin jumped on it because I had looked and they only had like the 2 records in an EP. So I was always like, oh, I bet there's probably not enough. But then they put out a box set a few years ago, and the stuff from the box set was added, like an extra EP and another EP. So it ended up being just barely enough. So it's one that I probably would have put up a long time ago if I had known that there was enough songs. But yeah, Neutral Milk Hotel is maybe one of the most beloved underground bands of the last 30 years because of this record that they put out called In the Airplane Over the Sea, which has become like one of these cult classic records, one of these records that gets passed down from brother to sister and sister to brother and generation to generation, is like, oh, this is important. This is one of those records that it's entered that pantheon. I mean, it always shows up on like best of the 90s, whatever. And it's an interesting story because it kind of came out of nowhere. Like Neutral Milk Hotel was part of this group called the Elephant Six Recording Company. And they ended up in Athens around the same time that I was there, Athens, Georgia. And I probably had plenty of chances to see them, but I never did because like I was super into punk rock and like all this other stuff was like, no, I don't care, Well, like they just play. There's all a bunch of hippies. Like these people were legitimate weirdos around that time. There's a documentary that came out a couple of years ago called the Elephant Six Recording Company, which I highly recommend. It talks a lot about Neutral Milk Hotel on this record, but it's basically the guy behind it is this guy Jeff Mangum, and he had been around a while and like played in on the different bands, and Neutral Milk Hotel was kind of this rotating cast of characters, and he finally kind of fine-tuned it and honed it into this project. And so the record comes out, like the first record comes out in 96, and then Airplane comes out in 98. And then over the years, like I finally got turned on to it probably 2001 or 2002, where people were like, oh, this is actually kind of brilliant. And started listening to it, and you're like, oh yeah, like this guy he's onto something here. And it became this huge thing, and like the pressure, I think, got to him. He just retreated from music and everything. They didn't tour. He just became a recluse basically for 15 years almost. And they announced they were going to reunite in, I think it was 2013. And people freaked out. Like the tour sold out in minutes. I didn't even get a chance to go. But and then they toured for a couple of years, played big shows, and then that was it. And they were done. And it's added this air of like mystery and like just like for the early 2000s, he would be like, so oh, he's in Belgium doing field recordings, or oh, he was seen at a Trader Joe's in Brooklyn or something. Like you would get these like sightings of him, and it became this thing, back in the Pitchfork years and all of that. But the bottom line is like, the music is good. Like they were doing this kind of like, what if Brian Wilson did even more drugs and then got into Pavement sort of thing early on, and then it morphed into more of this like really powerful acoustic thing, and they were using these interesting recording techniques to like get this fuzz on it and put this distortion on it and analog and all that. Nothing else sounds like it. And it's another one of those things where, a lot of people heard it and they were like, oh, I want to start a band that sounds like that. Like the Decemberists, Neutral Milk Hotel is a huge influence on them. The Arcade Fire, they kind of took what this was and made it into something more commercial, because this is not commercial music, right? It's very much out there. And I'd even mention Anne Frank, which I'm sure we're going to get to, but they're one of those enigmatic kind of bands that have this like history and mystery and like mysterious aura around them. So I've been wanting to talk about them for a while. This is going to be fun.
Interestingly enough, like this is funny because I feel like this has happened a couple times recently, Gavin, where like on paper it probably seems like this wouldn't be your jam, and like as John's talking, I'm going, oh, okay, now the pieces are coming together. Like the first thing he said that made me go, oh, yeah, is Legitimate Weirdos. I was like, okay, yeah, there's Gavin right there. And then there is a sense of these are legitimate weirdos in the music. So like, yeah, I guess it. So like, what is the missing puzzle piece other than that they're legitimate weirdos? What makes you want to talk about these guys?
Yeah. I think thanks for having me on the show. It's good to be here with you guys. I think so. My friend, who's a crazy record collector like me, bought Airplane when it came out in '98 and was like, "You got to hear this," and played it for me. And I immediately, I mean, it's hard to, if you're into any kind of like indie music, it's just a fucking no-brainer. It's like, wow, it's powerful. That first song coming right out the gate on that record, it just asserts itself in a way that is sort of undeniable. And I love that record. I bought it, and that record was a big deal when it came out. It was, I mean, John's talking about, I mean, it's gotten to be a bigger deal, but it wasn't like it took 5 years for people to figure out that record came out. Or that's true about about On Avery Island, right? But like in the Airplane, I remember it kind of hit hard. Like people that were into independent records and weird music immediately were sort of enthralled by that record. And it is sort of an enthralling record. It comes with like a whole kind of world identikit. Like it's pulling from like uh, it's like, all the graphics and topography and subject matter. It's like a mix of like marching band punk. Like, what if the kids at your school that were in the marching band like heard the Sex Pistols,
Mhm.
And it's like kind of like Victorian scrapbooking, and it's got like some circus
Steampunk, yeah.
freaks, like some circus art, right? Circus freaks, like
Mhm.
those cool big tapestries that they would make it, about the circus and like World Fair. Like if you're into like the World Fair and all those like old all the old art around that, like amazing contraptions. So it's a little bit like Jules Verne, like there's some of that shit in there, and it's just like it was just like really endearing and kind of magical, like a little kid. It reminded me of reading like adventure books when you're a
Mm.
boy, um, like something's going on there that's strange. And then I remember reading an article about his disappearance, like John was talking about, and about like all the rumors and like, and I that's like totally like catnip for me, It's like the missing genius, what happened, what people who just people who quit at their height of their powers is always a really good story. And so, but then I kind of just like wasn't paying attention, and then I was in El Paso with Jen. That's another story, but what was I doing in El Paso? And like we were at this hotel. I don't even know when this was, like in the early 2000s. And like, no. This would have been in the early 2010s.
Hmm.
And there was a bar next door to the hotel, and on the marquee it said Neutral Milk Hotel was playing. And like I couldn't believe it. I hadn't really been keeping up with them, so I didn't know that he had returned to music. And we just walked next door and saw them with like 100 people in this like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to El Paso, but that place is a trip and like super desolate and weird. Like they have like really the main street in El Paso, and this is relevant, has like these really old giant pawn shops that have been there forever that sell like a real mermaid in a jar, on the fucking counter, and like they're like curio shops, which is very like Neutral Milk Hotel, and it was just a really weird place to see them. He was great. The audience sang like knew every word to every song. He seemed really happy. He kind of looked like Jesus Christ and like had a big beard and was wearing white, which is always interesting, the all white move. But yeah, like I think that the songs are like religious hymns kind of, and like at their best, like there's moments in some of their songs where you can feel them kind of like touch that part of you that would respond to a religious hymn, like when his voice is really high and like he kind of takes you up and out of yourself. And yeah, I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but I think that one record is like an amazing feat that they pulled off. It's really special. Yeah.
I'm loving hearing this because, as I mentioned to you, like before we went on, Gavin, my relationship with this band, like this isn't like everybody telling me I gotta listen to the Beatles, and you gotta listen to Neutral Milk Hotel. I never got that, but I did. My cousin, who lived in a small town in Oklahoma, we met up in New York one summer. And I mean, he was still like young, like 16, 17, like impressionable. And we were just talking about music because we hadn't really known each other. Not necessarily estranged, just he lived in Oklahoma, I lived in Virginia, just we didn't cross paths. And we're talking about music, and he asks, what kind of music do you like? And, I mentioned that, I like indie music, and This was probably sometime in like 2012, 13 maybe. So like I'm doing your music show, which is all musicians from where I live, independent bands like in my area. And so like when I was referencing indie, it was like that. And he goes, "Oh, you mean like Neutral Milk Hotel?" And I like he probably could have seen the question mark coming out of my head. Like I was like, "Who the hell is this?" Not enough for me to go do the dive. Streaming wasn't quite what it is now, so like I didn't have the means to just go do it. But I found that this band, it's funny. Like we kind of talked about like the feeling of steampunk. Like I almost immediately got this feeling of like what if you just collected all the Frogs More Serious songs, like early Frog stuff like that they were just recording in their living room, and then like it's kind of halfway between that and Modest Mouse, like Modest Mouse with less polish, and like all that to say, like I fit right in at home. Like this isn't a band I'm probably gonna visit a ton, but like I fit right in at home. I found them almost immediately. Like I kind of like fell into the groove with them. It for as abrasive as it technically is, I never was appalled. It was never shocking. I never pulled back on them. Like I kind of eased into them. I kind of was like, yeah, okay, I know what's going on here. So I found that nice. To that point though, like as we're building lists here, John, like the good news is we get half the discog, right? Like we came out to 41 songs, so we get 20 picks.
Yeah.
But like when you're going through, like what is it that you're leaning towards?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be heavy on Aeroplane, right? Because that's the one that sticks out. But there's also some great stuff in the early years too. I mean, a lot of it is, there's a lot of tape collage stuff and a lot of, field recording type stuff and just feedback. There's one 13-minute feedback song with loops and all that. So, but you could tell, like, and especially the stuff from the box set, it's like, oh, he took this lyric and turned it into this, and he took this part of this song and combined it with this other song to make this, and like that stuff is really interesting to see how that the process of that and like how it went on, through their short history. So it's a matter of doing that, and then just pick a lot of it, just picking my favorite songs, the ones that with the hooks that I go back to a lot.
So I mean, he made a point of Airplane there, Gavin. Is that kind of what you build around, or did you have a different approach?
Yeah, I'm definitely heavy on Airplane too. But it was really fun to go back. I heard the box set when it came out, but I haven't listened to it since. And it was fun to revisit On Avery Island. It was better than I remembered it being, the first record. And I didn't really have a plan. I mean, I kind of just used like a water finding stick and like just kind of what I was drawn to. There's some songs that feel like more of like underdeveloped, like a sketch, than others, which is not a deal breaker for me. But I tried to get more to the songs that like had figured out how they want to touch you. Like they have something in them that's like reaching out and like and touching you. I guess that's the best way I can say it.
I'll say this: I did not overthink this list at all. Again, like it wouldn't be. It would be really hard to overthink it. As I was going through, like I just kind of grabbed the ones that really were kind of, not necessarily standing out, but I gravitated towards. So like maybe kind of what you're talking about, Gavin, the ones that like kind of touched me, kind of spoke to me. So like I think I ended up there. 21 on my first pass. I'm like, I'm not going to overthink this. Like I'm, I'm pretty close to the finish line. And so I just kind of Google searched, hey, essential neutral milk hotel, and I found this list on Reddit, and it was almost all 20 of the 21 songs I had. So I was like, all right, well, I'm on pace. So let me just find which one needs to go. Again, like, I didn't want to overthink it. I ended up heavy on Airplane Over the Sea as well. Not because it's necessarily better, but like, I feel like it kind of does that thing that you're talking about, Gavin, like where it just kind of draws me in. I'll say this, there's one song that came up already that I'm going to be, the spoiler on, unfortunately, but like, I feel like there's enough common ground the rest of here, John, that we should be all right, right? Like the math says so, right?
Oh yeah, I think so. I'm gonna go pretty. I'm gonna be pretty optimistic and say 8.
Ooh, hell yeah, I like that. Gavin, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 7.
Okay. Well, based on like the fact that I kind of accidentally found a good 20, like, I think you guys are right. So I'll just go the one over. I'll go 9. Why not?
Nice.
Why not? Take the over here.
All right.
All right, we're going to take a quick pause, and on the other side of it, we're going to start playing the game, Mr. Program Jack.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The three of us have gone through the Neutral Milk Hotel discography and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you, in case you have never given Neutral Milk Hotel the time of day. I didn't get a ton of answers for this, but this is the only one that I got twice, other than I think 2 people said all of them, which not necessarily incorrect here, right? Like, it's 41 songs, so like, they're not exactly wrong. I usually hate that answer, but when it's a small discography, it's kind of right. But I did get somebody say, like, you hate to go chalk, but it's kind of this one, and I kind of agree. How about Holland, 1945? Or is it 1845? I can't read my writing.
1945.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, of course. And like, that's one of the ones that's directly references the Anne Frank story on the... I mean, that was a big part of the inspiration for that record in the Live at Jittery Joe's, which we took one song from the cover. He talks about, like, oh, it's this family that I read about that I kind of became obsessed with, and he would dream about it, and a lot of the songs came from that, and this one especially. Yeah, it's a banger.
Yeah, I feel like it just kind of, it does the thing that we've been talking about, like with all the distortion. It kind of puts you in a place and paints a really great picture. Like, you can kind of see it and feel it and touch it, and yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's a great song. It was a 7-inch too, right, John? Wasn't it a single? I think it was a single, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that might be the chalk, but we'll find out if there's more chalk. John?
All right. I'm gonna stay off of Airplane for a moment. Don't worry, I have plenty left. Don't send your letters just yet. But I'm gonna go with Garden Head / Leave Me Alone.
Yeah, I got it.
Me too.
Hey.
Nice.
Excellent. All right. Play that. Sometimes I need like the prompt just to see if I have further thoughts. One of these days I'll write them down. All right, boom, just like that. We got 2. And Gavin.
I'll stay on the first record with you. I took Avery Island April 1st.
Oh man, no.
No.
Bent. That's hard to do. It's hard to bin on a
Yeah, I know.
episode where you can take one out of every 2 songs.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe that happened. I feel bad, but you can't take them all is the real truth. There we go. All right. Like John said, like there's plenty of time to get back to Airplane, so I'll get back there. I feel like this is where I want to go next. How about Naomi?
That was my last cut.
Oh,
I've got it.
yeah, all right. We'll take a 2 there. We'll take a 2. All right. John?
All right. This song is, I think it when it came out on the box set, it was a big deal. It floated around because it's the only song on here, the only original song that was written after Aeroplane. So people took it as like a taste of like what would have happened if they had stuck around and written another record. And it's very dark. It's actually, the subject matter is, I don't know if you remember Matthew Shepard, the kid in Utah who was beaten to death for being gay. It's that inspired this song. It's Little Birds.
I got it.
Dude, I couldn't fit it at the end. I couldn't fit it. That's a cool song, and I didn't know that. You hit me to that, and that's really
Yeah.
heartbreaking story. Yeah, I'm glad I got it too.
Yeah, it gets to hang around. 2-2-2. All right. And I should point out that I actually had that song before seeing that you had said that in the chat, and I was like, oh well, okay, well that's. I'm glad I found that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Gavin.
I took Communist Daughter off Airplane Over the Sea.
Yes.
Yes, like I think you read a lot of stuff where that's people's least favorite song on the record, but I love it. Yeah, I have it.
Me too. It's so good. It's really good.
Hey, here's one. Like this is an episode where I'm not sure what the home runs are. I feel like maybe we got the home run.
It's that whole record, man.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. If we don't have all the songs, people are gonna write letters.
Yeah.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. Up to 3. Let me kind of get that on over. And I don't know. Should I stay on that record or should I try to find you guys elsewhere? I'll stay off it for now because I've got plenty left from there. So, how about Song Against Sex?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I'll take a 2 there.
Great title, though.
Boom and boom. All right, John.
Okay, back to me. Let's go with a song. I love this title. It's ominous in a very interesting way. How about I Will Bury You in Time?
Yeah, that was the other one I was looking at.
No.
Take a 2 there.
Our reputation is continuing, Gavin. We're here for the same band, but for very different reasons. Happens every time.
Yeah.
I know. If we were roommates in college, we could just string up a tapestry across the room. You stay on that side, I'll stay on this side.
Yeah.
All right, Gavin.
So they put out a 10-inch called Ferris Wheel on Fire, which collects stuff from 92 to 95 that's really cool. I took Engine off that from 93.
I got it.
Yeah, he introduces this on the live record as it's a children's song, and he talks about how his life was in the shitter and his girlfriend, I'm paraphrasing, but his girlfriend had moved to Seattle and all this stuff, and it's like, I wrote the song, I felt good for about 5 minutes and then went back in the shitter again. It's a happy song, he calls it a children's song. So yes, I have Engine.
Cool.
Yeah, all right. It's interesting to see like the ones that we hit on that aren't on that the record.
Yeah.
So, all right. We're starting to tap out of all my that record stuff though. I still have a good couple. All right. How about Two-Headed Boy?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. That's a stupendous song. Stentorian.
We're gonna blow past that 9, you guys.
Bombastic.
Look, I always love when like the conversation is cutting songs instead of
Yeah.
instead of like trying to get ones in.
Yeah.
It's fun. It is funny how like it never used to happen, and then over the last couple of years, it's happened like a good handful.
What's the record? 13?
13 is 14. I think Hendrix beat AJR. AJR was the first one to do it at 13. I think Hendrix did 14.
We might be pushing that.
Maybe. Where are we at? Already 5, right? And we're not even halfway through.
Yeah.
All right, John.
Okay. I've talked a lot about that live record. It's the Live at Jittery Joe's. He did an acoustic show before Airplane came out, and it's a lot of early versions of those songs. And a lot of it's the same stuff that we already had, so it felt like it would have been redundant to add it. But there's one song on there. It is a cover of an old girl group song that Phil Spector produced, but his version is unbelievable, and it's "I Love How You Love Me."
No.
I didn't take it, but that was really cool to listen to. I didn't even know about that record, and it's cool. It's in Athens, right, John? It's a
Yeah. Oh, Jittery Joe's. Yeah, the coffee place used to go there all the time.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And it was nice hearing him talk, like, to the crowd. And yeah, that would have been like right before his life changed, like forever. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
cool. Captured that moment in time.
I was probably a freshman in college at the time, just walking around listening to the Descendants or something.
Yeah. You may have been at the coffee shop and just not noticed he was playing.
No, I would have noticed, but yeah.
All right. Into the bin it goes, unfortunately. I feel like there will be a couple binners. It's just the nature of the beast. Gavin.
I took their first single, Everything Is, from 93.
Oh, I love that. No.
I've got it.
Hey. Ultimately, I think I may have been wrong there, but it's all right. Because I was listening to it beforehand, and I was like, oh man, like in hindsight, maybe I should have kept it. But I was trying to not do the thing, even though the song does the thing.
Yeah,
that's the peak. Beach Boys on More Drugs.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stay there though. I'll stay with one of the ones that I picked. How about Tuesday Moon?
No.
I like that pick, but I didn't have it.
All right. Into the bin it goes. John?
All right, let's see if we can hit on another one. We've been stuck on 5 for a whole round or something, and that seems wrong. So I'm going to take the one off of Airplane that's, I think it's 8 minutes long. It was recorded in one take. Oh, Comely.
Yeah, I got it.
I didn't take it.
Oh. Okay.
And just like that, now we're up and over for NTP is out now. So anything that gets binned is out. But we do have a conversation to be had.
Yeah.
All right, Gavin?
I took Ferris Wheel on Fire from 93.
No.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, no real reason. Just don't. So. All right. I already did that one. I'll go back to On Avery Island. How about April 8th?
No.
No.
Oh, been to 2 in a row. All right. John?
All right, we got to end this skid. Title track, In the Airplane Over the Sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I was avoiding it, but yes. Oh, man, I forgot to scoot this one up to the top. Oopsies. So now we're at 6.
Yeah.
And let me grab that one and play it real quick. Underneath, and then we will get to Gavin's pick.
I'm going to stay on Airplane. Do you guys have Ghost?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
Nice.
All right. Boom and boom. Get that going underneath us. And come on. Seven. So we're right at Gavin's 7. And we're humming along. I feel like I shouldn't abandon that, eh? How about Untitled?
Yeah.
No.
No. All right, we'll take a 2 there, though.
Had to cut something off of it.
Something had to go. Yeah. All right. John?
All right. How about A Baby for Pre?
No.
No. There's a couple pre-songs, right?
Yeah.
Yes. This is just the straight up Baby
Right.
for Pre.
On Avery Island. Yeah. We don't have it.
All right. Gavin?
Well, I think Justin alluded to not having the song, but I took the track 1 off Airplane, The King of Carrot Flowers, part 1.
I love it, but I don't have it.
Yes, of course.
It may be my favorite song by them.
I always have an issue, and this is a stupid reason to cut it, but I always have an issue with, I love a song sequel, but I always have problems with like songs that are multi-part, if that makes sense, as opposed to like, it's not a sequel. It's like, I didn't know how to tackle it, I guess is what I'm saying. Do I take 1, 2, and 3 as one part, or?
So this was interesting too. If you listen to the live at Jittery Joe's, this part 1 was originally called Jesus Christ, and then there was another song called Up and Over We Go, and you can hear him like he asked for a request, and someone goes Jesus Christ, and he's like, oh, that doesn't go anywhere. I'm not going to play that. And then he thinks, he goes, oh, maybe I could combine it with Up and Over We Go. And like you hear him like decide that at the show, and then it turns into this thing on the record. It's amazing.
On stage. That's awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like when he's saying Jesus Christ, he's not being ironic, Like,
right? Yeah.
I thought he was when I first heard it, but as I've grown older, I don't know his religious situation, but I think he's being genuine in that song.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Untitled was a 2, right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we got let's do 2 more and then dump out. How about, did I do this? I don't think I did. How about Home?
No.
No.
All right. John?
Well, my prediction that we were going to hit 14 is optimistic, but let's see if we can get another one here. I'm going to, again, live up to my reputation of being a last track aficionado, and this one's cool. You can hear him actually get up out of his chair, like set the guitar down and get up out of his chair at the end. Two-Headed Boy Part 2.
Very good, but no.
That was my second to the last cut, and it's
Ooh.
situation. It's like something's got to go off that record. That's a great song. I
Oh.
just want to cut that song.
Now we're gonna get letters. You guys
Yeah.
did it.
Well, somebody's got to complain about something, I guess. Gavin.
Well, I'll follow you into the grave here. Let's put the nail in this one. The King of Carrot Flowers, part 2 and 3. I had.
No.
Did you have it, John?
Say it again. Sorry.
Did you have the King of Carrot Flowers, part 2 and 3?
Yes, I definitely did.
Okay.
All right, that's a 2. I guess I could have done like you guys did and just taken them both.
I just put it up. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess I could have thought of it that way instead of thinking of it as one song. All right, one last round. How about My Dream Girl Doesn't Exist?
Yeah.
That was the last cut.
Oh, I'll take a 2 there, though, but all right.
You guys know that? So he's playing that at Aquarius Records. Do you guys know Aquarius in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
In 92, which it's just this record store that's been in San Francisco forever, and like it may have closed. It's sold a couple times, but it's been there since forever. And all that, like, you could go in there and look around and not know like one record. Like, it is like the most obscure record store. It only has like the weirdest shit, and the employees write on index cards with colored pens about each record, and like, so there's just index cards everywhere, and they're writing like novels about these records that two people know about. It's like really wild. So it's really funny that he would have been playing there live in 92. It's like fucking perfect store for him.
All right, John.
All right. How about? Well, I took one song already. The other one. How about A Baby for Priest / Glow Into You?
No.
I think that was my 21. I think. All right, Gavin.
You guys aren't into the baby songs, all right?
No.
I get it.
I took Marching Theme off Avery Island.
No. I guess we were bound to have like just straight up misses. All right. I only got 3 left here. I don't have high aspirations for them, though. We'll see. All right. How about Here We Are?
No.
How about Oh Sister?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I got one left. Let me mark this down. Last but not least, Sign the Dotted Line.
No.
Oh, the Chris Knox cover. I like that, but no.
All right. In the bin it goes. So we are going to land on Gavin's 7, I believe. Yeah, I don't think we got past that. Here, let me do the math and make sure.
What's Sign on the Dotted Line?
It's the last song he recorded a song for a Chris Knox tribute album.
Oh, is that on our list?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was like the last song. So
Chris Knox from New Zealand.
Oh man, I think I fucked up and didn't have that for some reason, which is weird.
No.
You want to pick another pick, Justin, or something? Or?
Nah, I can always just put my vote behind something I should have been on in the
Sorry
next
about
round. No worries. All right. So again, Gavin's number 7 is going to win, but let's see if we can make the conversation a little bit more difficult. John, what do you got left?
I only got one left. It's Where You'll Find Me Now.
Yeah, I've got that on Avery Island. Yeah, we got a lot of 2s.
And what do you got left, Gavin, just for shits and gigs?
I took Ruby Bulbs off the Everything Is 10-inch. I had Snow Song, the original B-side off the first single. And I took Someone Is Waiting off on Avery Island.
That one was definitely on my radar. All right, let me shake this up. We'll read down the 7, and then we will try to work on these 2s before Gavin gets his final say. All right. The 7 in are Garden Head, Leave Me Alone, Holland 1945, Engine, Communist Daughter, Two-Headed Boy, In the Airplane Over the Sea, and Ghost. Off to a hot start. Let's see what these 2s are, eh? So I think I can go to this tab. 12. 12 that we need to tick down to 2. Yeah. That's crazy. All right. So we've got Naomi, Little Birds, I'll Bury You in Time, Song Against Sex, Everything Is, O Comely, Untitled, King of Carrot Flowers Part 1, King of Carrot Flowers Part 2 and 3, My Dream Girl Doesn't Exist, Oh Sister, Where You'll Find Me Now. Is the question the 2 Carrot songs, 8 and 9, and then Gavin's final say, or is it something else, John?
It might be, but I would probably throw Little Birds in there. I think that's such an interesting song, and for it to be the only one recorded after Airplane, I think that would be cool to have on there.
Before we get to your 10, Gavin, is there something that you kind of were off on that you feel like, yeah, I'd like to put my vote behind that?
Well, originally I was looking at what's in. We got 5 Airplane songs in.
Mm-hmm.
And we got and we only have one thing off Avery Island in. So I was looking at Where You'll Find Me Now on Avery Island, which I really like, just to try to get, because that's a record, you know, like that's a real record. It's like substantial and probably should be better represented. But I mean, I like this. We could do. I like Little Birds, and I really like the subject matter. And throw the 2 Carrot Flowers in, and we're fucking Bob's your uncle.
I mean, I guess, you know, because ultimately one of these songs is like just straightforward your pick, Gavin, because you won.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if that's what you want to do, like we can co-sign it and close shop.
No, hold on. Like there's a point to be made too. Like I could play devil's advocate for every single song, but like Everything Is,
yeah,
we don't have anything. The early stuff that could be good to have on there. I'd be fine with that. Oh Comely is such a powerful performance. Like I could fight for that one being on there.
So we could do Little Birds and Everything Is. And then, I mean, Gavin's pick can be whatever he wants it to be, obviously. But since he's already put out Where You'll Find Me Now, that could be number 10.
Okay, you know what? I'm off the Little Birds train. I'm going to keep that as something that people have to go find. And it's the treat that you get for going and listening to the whole list, because it's at the bottom. So now I'm going to fight for Everything Is, and man, yeah, I don't know, because like, can you break up the King of Carrot Flowers? Can we really like take one and not the other one?
Right. That's why I didn't pick both, because that's what I couldn't. I was.
Well,
if you had picked both, we wouldn't have had to have this conversation, because they both could have been on there.
Also true.
Yeah. Okay. if we can think of those as one song, Justin, then that
See, we're getting into Pink Floyd territory. Like
we're invoking the Fredo rule.
What do you think, Ron?
So really, it's about
there's a lot of good twos, man. It's like we're all over the
I don't know
place.
what to do.
Yeah,
because like either way, like Oh Comely's gonna get left off. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, I don't know.
well, which all right, so it can be easily explained away if we take one, we have to take the other. Then that was the reason I didn't take both. Then that's the reason why we're not taking both, and we can suggest. I mean, it is track 1 and 2. Go take those in, and those should be at the top of your list past our 10, and then that keeps the 3 spots open, as opposed to taking up 2 spots with what is technically
So I'm listening to them as you're talking, and parts 2 and 3 I think are better, because part 1 is just like it's more like just an intro, right? It's like it's not a fully fledged, fully formed idea. So my thought would be to do either, we'll take Carrot Flowers part 2 and 3, then either Everything Is or O Comely.
Okay. And then that still gives...
And leave off part 1.
Yeah. Does that sound like a good enough compromise, Gavin?
Yeah, so take 2 and 3 and Everything Is.
Or O Comely.
Yeah, so the thing about O Comely for me, I love everything on that record. So I'm not, we're splitting hairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about like a masterpiece, in my opinion, this record. But for me, it's like it's a pretty dour song, and this band for me is revelatory, like almost like they get into like a fervor. So I like their up like spirituals more than their like down spirituals. I think I'm just trying to explain and it's a really long song, which is fine. I love a lot of long songs. I'm just trying to explain why I didn't have it, I guess. I mean, I had 22, and that was my 22nd cut. Okay, we got 3 spots left. So we do...
Well, let's do Carrot Flowers part 2 and 3.
Right.
Cool, Justin. Let's do that one.
Yeah. Let's grab that. So
that's number 8.
Right. And so now number 9. I mean, we could be looking at, again, if we're leaving O Comely off, then we could be looking at it from hey, we're just getting something off of Everything Is. Also, it does the thing. So, like, that is I didn't take it, but it does do the thing. Like, I settled into this band rather easily because of Everything Is. So, I mean, that is a plus.
Okay. Let's do that at 9 then.
Okay.
That was one of my original ideas, and I can sit here for the next hour and talk myself out of it unless we just do it.
All right, so let's grab Everything Is as number 9, and then that's going to take us to Gavin's final say.
Or I'm flip. I mean, John, if you're that passionate, I don't feel that passionate about anything that's left. So if you're that passionate about Comely, take that, and I'll take Everything Is, because that satisfies like the early. Would you consider that an early song, or were you talking about earlier songs that we should have?
What do you mean?
When you were like, we don't really have any of the real early stuff covered. I mean,
yeah, I was talking about Everything Is. Yeah,
because that's as early as it gets. Like,
sure.
I guess they have a couple of 92 songs on Ferris Wheel.
Right.
But we already have My Dream Girl, right?
They didn't come out in 92. We didn't know they were around until later.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's do that. So take O Comely, and I'll take Everything Is.
All right. Boom. Let me change that
Okay.
to say final say. And I'll read this down and make sure I got it right. I think I do. A little bit of shifty-roo. Come on. Keep up. Okay. Yes. Gardenhead, Leave Me Alone, Holland 1945, Engine, Communist Daughter, Two-Headed Boy, In the Airplane Over the Sea, Ghost, Everything Is, King of Carrot Flowers, Part 2 and 3, and O Calmly rounds out our 10. I mean, I kind of alluded to this, but obviously there's a conversation to be had. Is it Holland 1945 or is it something else, John?
For me, it's In the Airplane Over the Sea. I think that is like it encompasses everything. I love the lyrics that like how strange it is to be anything at all, like that, and it like it's Holland 1945. Yes, it's a banger, like I said, but it just does one thing really. I think In the Airplane Over the Sea, you get a lot of it builds, and like you get a lot of that weird instrumentation. You get the Zanzithophone and the saw and all the other weird stuff they were doing, horns and all that. I think that is the one for me that like it encompasses everything on that record. That's good.
What do you think, Gavin?
Yeah, I had circled Holland 1945, and The Airplane Over the Sea, and Two-Headed Boy. Those were the three that I was thinking of. I think Holland 1945 just rolls. It's a banger. Like it's got a great chorus. It's got great momentum. It's catchy as fuck. It's like it's just a really great trick that they do. It's like a great song. But I think John swayed me argument for Airplane. I think that's right.
I'll say this too, because we can't really bring up the best of conversation, because like this is kind of the best of panel.
I think Holland 45 is a more like immediately accessible song, but I think that interesting song.
And well, to that point, like
more accomplished. More accomplished.
And to the point, I think that's more the idea here. Like, yes, it is nice that Holland 1945 is accessible, but if you trick somebody and say that they're an accessible band, then I don't think they're getting the right picture. Like, and I shouldn't say it in that way, but like, I don't think they necessarily are. Like, it didn't turn me off. I found it accessible, but it's because it kind of lives somewhere in a vein of things that I like anyway. So like, I could see somebody hearing Everything Is and going, nope, like, so all right, let's go with In the Airplane Over the Sea. I'll get it queued up. I'll run this list down one last go, and we will wrap her on up. Q. Come on, there we go. It's a little loud. Let me turn that down. In the Airplane
turn it up.
In the Airplane Over the Sea is our number one. Gardenhead, Leave Me Alone, Holland 1945, Engine, Communist Daughter, Two-Headed Boy, Ghost, Everything Is, King of Carrot Flowers Parts 2 and 3, and O Comely rounds out our 10. And with that, In the Airplane, I can talk, I swear I can. Let's let In the Airplane Over the Sea get a moment in the sun.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream Team. Get new habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney+ and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto-renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes 3-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling 4 things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
And one day we will die and our ashes will fly.
There we go. We have done it. We have turned you on to Neutral Milk Hotel. You're very welcome for that. Again, this is a place where we do all the work. Literally all you had to do was listen to us talk about it. I don't know how to make it any easier for you. I am currently going through a lot of old episodes and trying to tag playlists to them. So if you're listening on Spotify, it will for sure show up probably like right next to it. I am trying to include links in the description. I think going back the last like 2 years, for sure they're in there. I'm working through it. So it will come eventually. So if you wanted to listen to this list, that's how you get it. Otherwise, put the list together yourself. This is definitely one of those bands where I think it's 2.5 hours worth of music. I would just listen to all of it. This is anything up your street. You're probably going to love it and just hit play and don't worry about anything we said. I would also say that patreon.com/ohhijustin is a great place to support this show. Hey man, look at that. I transitioned it. You can give $1 a month. It would be super appreciative. And it gets you in the door. It gets you the after the fact conversation we're about to have. It gets you deprogrammed before the rest of the world. The ever so slipping and less occasional Oh Hi Justin pods. Random stuff happening over there. Check that out. I'm also on Substack. Nothing much really shaking there yet. As I mentioned, I am trying to work through like older episodes. I'm thinking about writing little articles about episodes as I go or about the bands. More on that as it comes. Like, don't count on that. I'm not promising anything. It is something that I'd like to do. Who knows if it's going to come. But all that, Substack, Patreon, super helpful. Patreon also gets you an invite into the Legion of Stupid Discord. Get at that $1 level, it gets you just all your general channels. If you go to the $5 level, there's a couple secret channels that you'll get in, like where we kind of talk about ideas. I share stuff from my band Undercutters, go in there. Stuff like that happens in the $5 level. If you got it, if you ain't, I understand. We are a podcast, so like if you ain't got the money, but you do want to help the show, tell somebody that you listen to it. Sharing is caring. If you leave a review, that's super helpful. Rating 5 stars is super helpful. All that stuff helps. But honestly, to me, the best thing you can do is tell somebody that you listen to the show. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed, and you should too. And with that, Neutral Milk Hotel. Learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.